Okay, well, what do we have today? I had a viewer request this is not really a review, this is a comparison of this bike light right here. There's a Newboler one, which is exactly the same light on AliExpress that claims this is 6,000, and I bought this on Amazon as 2,600. So what I've done is I've ordered both units to do a comparison because he wanted to find out, like, is the Newboler actually 6,000 or are they lying? We don't know. So what we're going to do is a comparison. I'll just give you a brief overview of the light. It's basically like a light bar sort of unit. So the first is just two pairs of the outer lights. The next mode is just the center projector beam. And then the next is all of them all at once. And then there's a flash mode, which is kind of pointless, but it's on there anyway. And the only difference between the Acrunu and the Newboler is the Newboler gives you one of these little dongles to turn it into a power bank. It's basically a USB-C to USB-A adapter. And this will only put out 1 amp. So it's a pretty slow power bank, but I guess if you need it in some sort of an emergency or anything, obviously the real value of this is that, you know, it has a really nice bright light for your bicycle. So this, the Newboler one, this is the Acrunu, but it's the same thing. The Newboler one, if you pay another $3 or $4, you get a 10,000 milliamp battery. And this Acrunu, which was about the same price, only has an 8,000 milliamp battery. Plus I had to pay duty on it. So I paid an extra $20 compared to the Newboler. So we'll do a little comparison test just to show you what they both do and then give you some conclusions for yourself if you're interested in a bicycle light, or this would be good for a dirt bike even, you know, because that's a low beam and it has a very strong cutoff. So you could put this near the bottom of the bike and it would be like a really good little floodlight or, you know, for fog or anything like that. But anyway, let's move on to the test. Okay, this is the setup I have. I had to use this little bar end, which is made for children's bikes. So it's a little gimpy, but it should give you an idea of what the test is about. On the top is the Newboler 6,000 lumens claimed. And on the bottom is the Acrunu 2,600 lumens claimed. So one of these is lying. So we got to figure out, because they're both exactly the same, they have the same modes, they have the same everything. So let's find out which one through the test is actually brighter or not. Because maybe this is a 3,000 and this is a 2,600, which is probably more applicable, because I really doubt this is double this brightness. And this supposedly has a 10,000 milliamp battery, and this has an 8,000 milliamp battery. I was able to get 6,651 milliamps into it from low voltage cutoff. So yeah, that's around 8,000. It's like a crappy 8,000, so probably the cells aren't the greatest, but we're gonna see if this is actually 10,000 milliamps. Is it better than 6,651? Anyway, let's move on to the test. Okay, this is just against my wall of my apartment, just to show you. Okay, this is the top, which is the Newboler, which is claimed 6,000. That's low. That's the high beam, just a single beam. And that's all together. And then there's flash, we don't want that. Now this is the bottom one, which is the Acrunu, which is the same light, but it's rated at 2,600 lumens. So that's low, that's high, that's all together. Look pretty the same to me. Maybe the Newboler's slightly brighter, and then flash. But the Newboler supposedly has more battery power. We'll find out when we do the test later. All right. Okay, I'm going to test it here, which is Tommy Thompson Park. I don't even know if you can see, but there's like 0 street lights. It's like pretty much country. This is my ES 3S from AmbuTorch. That's a 150 setting. There's a 350. This is just to give you an idea of what's going on. There's a 700, and that's a 3000. This little torch is awesome. But this just gives you an idea of what we're dealing with here. Okay, so let's turn on the little dinky light that comes with my e-bike. I'm guessing this is 100, 150 or something. This is what I had to drive with to get here, which was sketchy as all hell. I couldn't see anything. Okay, so we're gonna start at the bottom. This is the Acrunu or whatever it is from Amazon. This is 2600 claimed lumens. So they claim this is 2500. That's 2500. That's the low. That's the 4 LEDs low. That's 650, they claim, which is just the high beam by itself, which is probably the longest run time. And that's all of them all together, which is supposedly 2600. Now, I have noticed that the middle one does seem to dim when I have them all on. I'm only assuming that's because they need, it's trying to increase the run times. Okay, that's your flash. You don't need that. Okay, now we have the Newboler. This is supposedly 5,000 lumens. Looks exactly the same to me. That's supposedly 5,000. Is that double what the Acrunu is? I don't think so. That's supposedly 1,000 lumens. Again, that looks exactly the same. Here, we'll put on for a comparison. See? Here, let me angle it down a bit so it's kind of the same angle. That's 650 on the Acrunu. And that's supposedly 1,000 on the Newboler. They look exactly the same to me. And that's all the lights on the Newboler, which is claimed 6,000. So obviously the Newboler's lying. So what would be the advantage of the Newboler? Well, we're going to do some tests later to see if it actually has a bigger battery, which would mean it will stay brighter longer just because there's less voltage sag. But you're basically getting the same light as the Acrunu. Also, the Newboler is a little cheaper, and they give you a little USB type goodie, which allows you to use it as a power bank. So let's see what 6,000 is. If you want 6,000, you're going to have to buy 2 of these fuckers, and that's 6,000. Let's say 5,000 just to be safe, because one says 2,500 and the other one says 6,000, so that's probably about the same. So 2 2,500s, 2 2,600s, maybe 5,200 lumens. But yeah, that's still totally decent. Like if I turn off the Newboler and just have the Acrunu, look, it's still totally decent light even at 2,500 lumens. Like look, there's the Newboler with all the lights on. Look, it's still good. It's not 6,000. But it's at least decent. All right, we'll go on to the charging test. Okay, I'm going to try this. I don't know if it's going to show up well on camera, but these are the 2 at full brightness together. So let's see if you can see something on the camera. Try to hold the camera a bit. This is what 6,000 really is with both of them. To get an idea of what's going on. I should probably angle them up a bit, but this will give me an idea of what we're getting. Okay, that's what I'm getting into the Newboler. 8,723 milliamp out of 10,000. That's not too bad. It's about 87%. All right. Okay, well, what are my conclusions? Well, I really like these lights, definitely, for sure. Now, as a comparison, the Newboler version of this is slightly better just for the fact that you can order it with bigger batteries. Now, what that also means with bigger batteries, it's going to stay brighter for longer. Because it has a larger cells in it, there's going to be a lot less voltage sag. So it will be brighter for longer. And I would say these are both around the 3,000 lumen range, because when I used it as compared to my ES3, which is this little flashlight here, this is ANSI rated. It's FL1 rated at about 3,300 lumens, and ANSI rated, which is after 30 seconds, at 3,000. This actually has like a proper rating on it. This has nothing. So the moral of the story is, if you order anything from China and it has, you know, whatever X amount of lumens on it, just assume it's going to be 50 to 75% of whatever they claimed. So on the Newboler, it's, you know, they say 6,000, so go, okay, it's going to be at least 3,000, which is pretty much on the money as compared to my ANSI rated flashlight. If it doesn't have an FL1 or an ANSI rating, assume it's half. Now, does that make it useless? Absolutely not. 3,000 lumens for 51 Canadian, which I ordered from Newboler's site. It came in about 10 days. It was really quick. That's a steal, because if you did want to put 6,000 lumens on your bike, you could buy 2 of these for about $100 Canadian, spend an extra $20 for a bar extension, and now you have a 6,000 lumens worth of light. Instead of paying $300-400 for like a magic shine, if I can do the same thing with a little gimpiness that I can fix myself for a quarter of the price, why wouldn't I do that? Also, I would recommend, if you do order this light, I would, if you do both get Newboler, pay the extra $3 for a larger battery, because the larger cell, I got 8,723, which is about 87% efficiency. And the lower cell, the Acrunu here, I got 6,651 out of 8,000, which is around 83%. Anything above 80 is acceptable, basically. Is still good. So the Newboler seems to have better cells if you pay the extra money. So it's kind of worth paying $3 or $4 extra bucks. Anyway, I'll leave links in the description to both these so you can see for yourself, you know, what they're claiming, whatever. The Acrunu claims 2,600. I'd say it's still closer to 3,000 compared to my flashlight. However, it may not stay at a 3,000 for longer than the Newboler because of the smaller cells in it. The more cells, the more power you have, the longer it's going to keep a bright level. Anyway, I'll leave the links in the description, and there you go. Thanks.